Zoro's dark secret, the forgotten king of Wano. Open the borders, by Maxsong8214. Hi everyone, Flying Panda. The ancestors of Zoro's family were the true rulers of Wano and were one of the allies of the Ancient Kingdom. Please check out my previous video of Zoro's dark past. The Ancient Roronoa family could have lost some of their best clansmen, not just from their own family, but from all of Wano as a result of the war. Possibly, at a critical moment, the family could have been betrayed by those that have sided with the 20 Kingdoms. This rebel faction were not happy about the open borders of Wano and want to be more isolationist country from the rest of the world. Though this is what they claim to have wanted in an ironic way, they were only granted it by interacting with the outside world. However, the 20 Kingdoms did not care, as Wano could have been one of the Ancient Kingdom's greatest allies, as they were not only strong in almost all aspects of war. The Roronoa clan warriors were nearly superhuman in their abilities. They were able to do things that no person could be able to, as they were natural with Haki. It could be like second nature to them, as a means to enhance their body beyond the natural limits. Though they are Haki naturals to use anything beyond that, they had to train their bodies and mind to do it. The Stonemasons of the Kozuki clan might have invented the indestructible stone blocks for the purpose of recording important history on them while preventing it from being destroyed. However, this was not the only use of the Stonemasons, as they were also weaponsmiths that created weapons for them as well, thus supplying themselves and their allies with weapons that were capable of fighting 20 different kingdoms at once. At this moment, I'm not sure how many people were on the Ancient Kingdom side, but I think they were outnumbered, and would explain how the void history would even be possible. I find it hard to erase an entire century of knowledge, natural, written and even verbal, as completely as the world government is said to have done after the rebels managed to be successful in their takeover of the Roronoa family, was set up as a fall guy to make them the bad guy and themselves the heroes they were fighting for the sake of Wano. Claiming the usage of those stone blocks for weapons and not merely recording history along with them interacting with the rest of the world was the cause, even though the rebels themselves were the one that convinced Roronoa to turn what could have been once be the tools that allowed them to write on something that cannot otherwise be destroyed as a weapon. Wano has been convinced to turn their back on the Roronoas as traitors. However, not everything was good for the rebels, as the one that were fully aware of their betrayal and the backdoor dealing to get the borders closed and much needed weapons production stopped. They were all killed off, as the 20 Kingdoms merely wanted Wano out of the fight for good. Thus they were. The rebel leaders that originally made the deal were killed off, and the blame was placed on the Roronoas. Yet again, Zoro's ancestors managed to live, as they were even harder to kill and could take even more damage than Zoro himself can. Zoro might be a Roronoa himself, but he is not the exact same as his ancestors. The bloodline had weakened a bit, but not enough that he could not still have the traits which can be used to explain why Zoro has seemed superhuman since the start of the series. Zoro would not be the only Roronoa left in the world, as there could be many others, but he could be amongst those that have retained most of their ancestors' traits, either through luck or chance. Anyways, if we talk about Gold Roger, after getting Kozuki Oden to join his voyage to the final island of Rafdale, he learned he had to keep going back around the various paths of the Grand Line to get everything he needed to the true final island, where he eventually left One Piece. Kozuki Oden, whilst travelling, came across something that allows him to learn the true past of Wano, and thus what really happened with the Roronoa family. I personally think that Gold Roger did not visit Skypiea during his first tour of the Grand Line, but in one of the many others he had to make after completing the first trip. Learning of this and how things used to be, he decided to open the borders as they were closed because of the lies and trickery. Though just like the past, the Shogun turned on him and his allies, thus allowing Kaido to take over with them as the public face of rulership for Wano, and Kaido, even the true ruler from the shadow of the actual ruler with the Shogun, has appointed his appointed person to rule. While he is off being a pirate, Oden did not pass on the knowledge of how the Road Poneglyphs, the court, have come here and they will lead the passage to the furthest ends of the world. Does not sound like something someone would say if this is their first time ever trying to complete the Grand Line. Also, though there are technically 2 entrances to the Grand Line, there is really only one for the majority of the world. Thus, Gold Roger could not have possibly known about the Poneglyphs could have been written on, as Wano is in the New World, and unless you have a means of crossing the Calm Belt, you cannot just go to Wano at will. You have to go the long way around, and Roger would have had to do this, as he would not have been special at the time. So the part where Roger says he had come here means to me at least that he had been to the end of the Grand Line and learned he needed to travel to find the other Road Poneglyphs, but he was not aware of how many there were, thus had to find each one himself. I do not think there was someone to tell him how many there were or even what they were. I think the Road Poneglyphs were only named that after Roger found them, similar to how Never wanted to be the Pirate King. The title he was given by others. The Road Poneglyphs are not naturally called that at all. It was a name given to them by the world after Roger found them and what they meant. Kozuki Oden has been with Roger since at least his second run of the Grand Line, could seen far more of the world than even the Straw Hats, because I think Luffy will get lucky and find all the Road Poneglyphs on his first run of the Grand Line, unless there is another time skip. Seeing this much of the world along with learning the true history of his own people could be what inspired him to want to reopen the borders. Thanks for watching this video, and the theory was by Maxon8214. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, leave a comment down below what you thought, and if you haven't, please subscribe. Flying Panda.